Hello everybody, welcome back to Season 2 of The Limit of Adhesion. This is round 4 of the championship. My name is Gareth and joining me as always in the commentary box is Jim and our driver analyst Will Burnett. How are you doing, guys?
Very happy to be here. How are you? How are you doing?
Good, thanks man, yeah.
Yeah, cracking on, Gareth, it's good.
Excellent stuff. So just to remind you once again that you can find all of our news, analysis and race reviews at thelimitofadhesion.com. So let's take a look at the driver championship then. After round 3 we can see that Gavin Kelly is now the championship leader after his amazing win at Laguna Seca. Rob Miller is in second place, James Garlick in third. That's the 3 podium finishes that we had last time out. Stephen Batty drops to 4th place after his no-show at Laguna Seca. And looking further down we've got Gary Jones in 11th place, Tony Hankin is in 12th and William Bibby in 6th. Will Burnett and Luke Hollick still yet to score. If we take a look at the team's championship now, we can see that Stupid Aguri have got a quite extensive lead of 30 points over Little and Large, and the Walliams team are in 3rd place now with some decent points scoring last time out. Keith Chegwin team in 4th, then the Dirty Legends, Verge of Grip and Lucky Bibs in 7th place.
I have to say, Verge of Grip are missing you there, Will.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Good to hear.
So as I say, this is round 4 of the championship, which means we are already a quarter of the way through, and here we can see that Gavin Kelly with a 3rd and a win, and Rob Miller with a win in the 2nd. James Garlick looking very consistent there in 3rd place. What do you reckon, Jim?
Yeah, it's anybody's championship this time round. It's a battle of 5. It's amazing, yeah. I think James Garlick might actually just continue his strides forwards. I can see a win from him this season.
Yeah, I think so too, if he can sort that braking out. What do you think, Will?
Yeah, I think he's definitely on for a win if he clears up his braking, and maybe I could even see another David Line win at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So let's take a look at the circuit for this week.
Thanks, Gareth. Well, after trips to Japan and the US, we are back in Europe for our first event at the Nürburgring. This is a shorter sprint Strecke configuration, but still has a downhill braking hairpin of T1 where it's ever so easy to lock up a front tyre. Instead of winding down to the Dunlop turn and back up through the Schumacher S as the F1 cars do, these skip barbers are going to make their way through the hairpin at T5. After the flat-out T8 on the back curly straight, the cars brake uphill into the Wiedel chicane where we could see some end-of-lap lunges at the penultimate corner of this track.
Thanks, Jim. We're just coming to the end of the qualifying footage now. Hugely excited to go back to this track. It's always been a favourite of mine. Let's look at the grid.
So, for the first time this season, qualifying bridesmaid Miller becomes a bride with a pole lap of a 1:41.7. Ever-present front row man Line starts 2nd. Championship leader Kelly is 3rd, with Garlick joining him on the 2nd row. Batty returns and starts 5th, meaning the top 5 in the championship occupy the top 5 starting positions. Bibby starts 6th for the 3rd time this season. Richard starts a season best P7 with the lead Dirty Legends car of Winslade on row 4 again in 8th. Paul Dixon, the privateer entry, is 9th, with Aaron Jenkins in 10th. And Hollick is this week's partner to serial back row qualifier Jones, both drivers some 2.5 seconds off the pace. Both Verge of Grip drivers Burnett and Tranter, together with Hankin from Little and Large, are not racing at the Nürburgring this week.
Thanks, Jim. That's an excellent rundown there. And if you want to see a report of the qualifying, go to the website. Here we are on the grid then, and the revs are starting to rise. We're waiting for the lights to go red. There we go. And when they go green, we are racing. There we go. It's a great start then from Rob Miller and David Line in 2nd place. But look at that. That's Gavin Kelly coming steaming down the outside. Looking to the outside into T1. And James Garlick in 4th place there. Looks like a slow starter at the back from Dixon. Maybe had a jump start. Bumping over the curb goes Line. Is he going to get into T? No. Rob Miller still holds on to P1. Nice clean start there, eh, Jim?
Yeah, indeed, yeah. It's a lot cleaner than I expected with the T1, like I mentioned in the track analysis. We see a few of the cars taking a lot of the curb as they come out of the Mercedes arena. Yeah, really, really good clean driving. These drivers have really improved their skills this season.
Yeah, side by side here for Winslade and Bibby as they come up to the T5 hairpin for the first time. Winslade is ahead of Richards now from the grid, so he's made a good start.
Good to see Stephen Batty back as well. Like we mentioned before, he's right in the fight for the championship and could potentially even be the leader if not for missing last week.
Yeah, good point. Fastest lap at Silverstone as well, so we know he's quick in the skip. We're now on the run up to the Vidal chicane for the first time. Winslade looking to the inside of Bibby now. Gets the job done. Yeah.
Oh, Bibby's lost
Clean
out.
movement. Yeah, Richards following him through. See if Bibby can hang on around the outside. Look at Hollick there. He's hanging on behind his teammate as well. That's good to see.
Yeah, Hollick's
so
made
we
his way
complete
through.
the lap.
You're right, yeah. Hollick's made his way through up into 9th place. He's took the ledge. And Dixon, the slow starter you mentioned, back in last place.
So, look, Garlic getting on the curb and locking up. He's going very sideways there. See if he's lost out from that.
Amazed he's
Stephen
kept on the
Batty
track.
4th. Yeah, he's done well there. So Garlic has now slipped back into the clutches of Winslade, and Batty is up into 4th place. Look at them locking up as they go into the turn 3 and then into turn 4.
This just looks like a
Huge
great track
amounts
to
of curve.
drive.
Paul Dixon appears decided to go into the pits, so I think we might see a replay potentially a lap time.
These guys are really hammering the curbs all over the shop. So here we are with the lead battle then. Rob Miller trying to run and hide at the front from David Lyon. Gavin Kelly in 3rd place. James Garlick is behind Stephen Batty, who is in 4th place. And who was that running on the grass? That was David Lyon running
Very,
really
very
wide.
You can do that in the skip barber. You can go under the grass. It's got the grooved tyres instead of slicks. If that had been in the radicals, you'd have seen David go into the wall there or ascend to orbit.
And wow,
Very slow there.
Lots of changes of position then. That was James Garlick getting it a bit slow into the chicane, which has allowed Winslade and Bibby through. And that's Hollick. It looks like he's had a major accident at the chicane.
That's unfortunate for Hollick, who was running well, taking a few places, and big incident. But David Lyon taking it way too wide, allowing Kelly into 2nd place, and now he's on the back of, you see the fastest lap. He's chasing down Rob Miller for 1st place.
Yeah, and that's his teammate Batty having a bit of a lock-up behind line as he was looking for a pass into T1. And this is the Winslade-Bibby battle, 5th and 6th positions at the moment.
It's nose to tail all up and down the grid at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, and Gary Richards has passed his teammate James Garlick, so Garlick has gone all the way from 4th down to 8th position.
Yeah, looking at down the timing screens here, commenting on the closeness of this battle, it doesn't appear that anyone from 1st to 8th is any more than 2 seconds behind their nearest competitor, which is a recoverable gap in the skip bar, but it's actually much less ground than you think it is due to the speed of the car.
Yeah, good point, Will, thanks. And only 3 seconds between this 5th place battle and the four-way fight that we see going for the lead at the moment.
Sort of wildly different lines you could see there from Winslade and Bibby as they went through there.
Yeah, and that's the ledge with one wheel broken off. Trying to recover. I wonder if that's what happened with Hollick then. Maybe he and the ledge had a coming together as the wheel. Let's go.
The wheel. See, if you're a proper commentary team, we'd have a whole 5-minute segment talking about this wheel now.
Great racing here
so
with
Bibby. Yeah, Bibby getting back through Winslade, but Winslade now into the final corner on the inside.
It is the favourable line.
You can see them doing a straight drag race down the straight just behind this lead quartet.
Yeah, and there's Kelly though. He's going to the inside of Miller into T1. Is he going to get it slowed down? Miller locks up. Oh, look at that. It's gone sideways. Just lost a bit of control. That's Kelly then into the lead. David Lyon back into 2nd place and Miller down to 3rd now. Fastest lap David Lyon, 41.9. God, they're already in 41, so that's very, very quick.
Yes, Miller loses 2 places at once with that. He really struggled on that entry into T1, which we said is going to be a overtaking spot and seems to be the place to try and take some positions. But that last corner as well, it's not the first time we've seen some drivers, Winslade getting past Bibby when you look at the timing screens. It's not the first time we've seen drivers going side by side as they make their way back onto the start-finish straight.
No, you're right. And as you mentioned, it is a very difficult braking zone down into T1. So we can expect to see some accidents and issues down there. So here's our lead 4 then on the run up to the Vidal chicane for the once again to complete lap 3.
1.1
Kelly
seconds.
leading from line.
Sorry, 1.1 seconds covering the 4 of them. This is amazing.
It's great, isn't it? And we see Miller there just was having a little look, see if he could get a run up on David Line. Doing that lap, and look at Batty, he's already lining up Miller as well. We might see some changes.
Wide.
Oh, straight to the inside.
I believe Miller's probably having some tyre temperature issues on his front left there as he conveniently locked that all the way into T1. It was a good maybe 5-10 metres worth of lock up. So that tyre is going to be very warm.
Yeah, you're right. So there's side by side, 3rd and 4th, but looks like Batty's going to come out the corner ahead. And
Will Miller do the switchback? No, don't think so.
No.
Line's almost pushing Kelly through the Mercedes arena area here, isn't he? And I've just noticed as well that Bibby's made his way past Winslade in the background behind this lead 4. So that battle continuing on.
It's action-packed, this race so far. So we come up to T5 once again. A lock up there from Batty. Line looking to the inside. Line was really just like hooked onto that curb, trying to drag his car around as much as he could.
It's great.
Yeah, if anything, actually, we went a bit too deep into that corner, but it has given him the inside line for the final turn before the chicane.
Yeah, but I think Kelly getting that run right out to the outside probably gave him a little more momentum, saved his bacon as he go up the hill. But look at Stephen Batty now, right in the wheel tracks of David London, goes to the inside. We're nearly 3 wide here.
Whoa.
And he's through.
I thought Batty was about to do the rare double overtake there, and I was about to stand up and clap, but luckily he held on to it.
Yeah, that would have been amazing to see, but we now have a Stupid Aguri 1-2. I think that's the first time this season we've seen that, isn't it?
Absolutely is, you're right. It's a really strong team, these two, and I think the team's championship is definitely going to be theirs, especially when we look at this rate, but they have to be careful not to hit each other, and coming down to T1 again, where we've seen a couple of lockups. And Batty looking on the inside of Kelly.
Kelly shuts the door and holds on to P1. We just sense that someone else is going to be taking the lead very soon. And we saw behind, actually, that once again Winslade was ahead of Bibby, but Bibby is now back through as they came out of T1. So a couple more places taken, swapped back there.
I do really like this configuration of on the replay here. Richards, this will be from the first lap, I imagine.
So this is where Winslade and Bibby got through James Garlick. Garlick clattering that curb. Let's see what happens as they come out of this final corner.
Oh wow!
Jesus.
Bibby just seemed
Garlic
just
that
seemed
was.
slow.
Was that just Garlic losing?
You were right. You were right, Gary.
Yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate one there.
Nowhere for Jones or the ledge to go at all, and Hollick with a severely damaged car. I do have to say, when I saw the ledge making his way through the T5 hairpin, as we see the Winslade Bibby battle resume, he did make a quite impressive line with only 3 wheels of his car. I was very impressed he didn't go careering off into the grass.
Side by
side there.
Wow. I'm mildly surprised that he didn't pit, though. You know, it would have been a good opportunity. He was right by the pit entrance there.
Yes, again, a very good point. I don't know if he would have realised that the wheel was broken as he made his way for the straight, where he didn't really see his onboard. But yeah, that would have been the prime opportunity to pit.
Now, we have seen before, I believe it was Bibby, was it, at Where was it? Where he
Okayama.
lost the wheel after. Yeah, it's Okayama on the back straight. Okayama, he lost it almost several corners after the accident. So, cool.
Oh, look at this now. Down the inside, that's Stephen Batty on Kelly for the lead. And Miller behind, looking to the inside of line for third.
That's our fourth leader of the race, I believe.
Yeah.
Now covered by 8 tenths.
The pace of these guys, while they're still battling. Kelly looks to the inside.
Hunting there.
Sorry, Will, go on.
As I say, Gary just... where's his face? He's back. He's now... There's between 8th and 9th, to say again, there's now almost a 18-second gap, it looks like, from the leaders between 8th and 9th. So I wonder if these are the guys that have been caught up by the incident. Because Paul Dixon was in the pits as well at the almost lap 1, I think it was. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, it looked like he must have jump-started, so he had a slow getaway, and I presume he probably got a penalty for that.
That would make sense.
Yeah. But say Gary Jones caught up in that accident with Hollock and the ledge, so you have to assume he's probably running with some damage right now.
I've seen some wildly different lines, and I was going to say before we jumped into those replays that it's just, even just watching the track at the moment, it's just relentless with places to overtake and such flowing corners. But I've been just so impressed with the wildly different lines that the drivers can take. Is that something that's unique to this track, Will, or is that something that's a benefit of the car?
Well, it's a little bit of both. The sprint Strecke, or even any of the Strecke versions of the Nürburgring, have got some interesting overtaking opportunities if you manage to get the run on the person in front of you. So you actually can sort of force an overtake here more so than you can at other tracks, such as we saw Okayama, where most of the overtaking was done with the double hairpin. But here, due to how wide the track is, this is of course, being a Grade 1 rated track for Formula 1 cars, so the space available is a lot more than we've had before. Looking at a line here, going for the lunge, never mind. Looks like Robert held that very well at the break now. Quite impressed. I thought I was about to see Miller spear off into the grass. But okay. But yeah, as I was saying, as you can see just how wide the track is, you have a bit of room to play different lines. And it makes it quite good in cars such as the Skip Barber, because you can then start to find where your particular driving style fits in and how you can get sort of in sectors trading times almost with the people around you. I think this is the reason why we've seen such close battling, as that was a fantastic overtake there by Winslade on Bibby. That was brilliant to see.
Very opportunistic there as they come into the T5 braking zone. And we can see that James Garlick has got back through past his teammate Gary Richards, so he's now back up into 7th place and hunting these two down. Will, are these two starting to hamper each other because of this constant fighting? You can see they've fallen sort of 8 seconds off the leading group now, which we're now
there is about a 9.5, 10-second gap almost between P5 and P4. I mean, I'd say possibly yes, they're hampering each other, but at the same time, looking at the relative pace from qualifying and what I'm seeing currently in terms of timings, I don't think they would have been able to hang with this group. They might have been closer if they weren't fighting, but I don't think they would have been able to catch up and overtake.
Well, speaking of fighting,
so it is a battle for 5th.
And are this group slowing themselves down slightly by racing so hard? I mean, as we see, that's Kelly side by side with Miller, and Batty in
are
the
they
lead.
slowing themselves down? Probably yes, but I don't care. It's fantastic.
It's amazing to watch, isn't it? That was like the 3rd time I think we've seen Stephen Batty having a lock-up into T1. It's a very difficult braking zone, as we said about before.
Well, we've got Garlick now right on the tail of the everlasting Winslade-Bibby battle. He's got the front row seat, but I wouldn't be surprised if Garlick now has found some pace after his horrific early laps, can make his way past both of these, and who knows if there's a problem up at the front with 2 of the cars making contact. Maybe any of the 3 from Winslade down to Garlick could make their way onto the podium.
Yeah, good point. See, he had a slightly bent rear wing from that contact with his teammate. So Batty now in the lead, and his teammate Kelly is attacking him as they come through 6 and 7. Miller in 3rd, also looking for a way through, and line just a couple of car lengths back at the moment.
Looks like Kelly's going for the inside of the curly straight. Just about makes his way through, but he's going to be on the outside for the chicane, although he's made his way past.
Did well to get the pace there, but shuts the door as they come into some tyre smoke from Hollick up ahead. Oh, he's letting them through. That's good to see. I wouldn't want to be getting in the way of that and fighting myself.
It's Batty who's come out ahead of all of that. They're slightly helped with Hollick, and now we've got Miller chasing down Kelly and line watching all of them. I don't think Kelly's close enough to retake the lead here, but yeah, the braking zone's so wide and so different, so varied that anyone can take a different path through. It looks like Kelly's going to go a bit shallower, runs a bit wide. Right on the tail now of Batty.
And we saw Line diving to the inside to try to get past Miller, but just not really finding a way through.
I don't have enough pairs of eyeballs to keep an eye on everything going on here.
It's a pretty chaotic race.
We say chaotic, it's just close racing. There's been that one incident.
Yes.
Chaotic is traditionally...
I'm losing my vocabulary. It's actually just, stunning racing we're seeing right now.
Yeah, well, from season 1...
Big lock up there from Batty.
It was a big lock up, but you can see from season 1, chaotic would be the word, but in season 2 of these Skip Barbers, it's not chaotic, it's just tremendous drama.
There's that Kelly to the inside there. Just sneaking it ahead, but Miller is hunting the pair of them now.
Miller is very, very, very confident with the brakes. I've seen him defend an inside pull from Line several times. This could be very interesting to see what Miller can do.
That Line getting very forceful. Line forces his way past Miller into third. Super aggressive as they came through the chicane. This is Winslade and Bibby still at it.
They haven't really dropped Richards either, this trio of cars. Richards is not too far behind in the other Williams car. But Garlic here, maybe a bit of a slipstream, although it's not going to be that big of an effect. But Bibby probably in the best position to go on the inside into T1.
He's got the inside line.
Box up a little bit. Can Winslade get back before he goes on to the T2s on the outside? I think Bibby's taken that position fair and square this time.
Yeah, he has. And yet one corner later, Winslade straight away looking for the inside line. These two just will not give up.
Now that's allowed Garlic to benefit.
Garlic slips through. Winslade taking avoiding action as they came into 5 there.
That's allowed Bibby to try to get a slight bit of a benefit and maybe got breathing space for the remainder of this lap, depending on his exit before they get onto that final back straight, curly straight.
Yeah. There's that damaged rear wing I mentioned before on James Garlick's car.
Winslade with a really good view of that as they make their way through the flat out T8 and up into the uphill braking zone before the chicane. Winslade wants that position back by the looks of it.
Yeah, a lot more confident on the brakes there into the chicane than Garlic there. Made it look a little easy. And we go back to our quartet at the front. And the order is once again Kelly from Batty, from Line from Miller. Fast slap Stephen Batty, 41.6.
Second place.
Looking to the inside, nothing doing this time. I find it quite amazing the fact that in the middle of the lap, and I think it was about 2 laps ago, only 8 tenths separated all 4 of these cars for P1.
Yeah, it's amazing to see. Any of them could win this race right now.
One of the 4 is going to be disappointed to not be on the podium, but I think 3 of the 4 are going to be disappointed to not win.
Yeah.
There'll only be one winner.
Oh, this is a fantastic move from Stephen Batty on the inside of T5. Kelly gets the drive out of the corner. And he obtains the lead as they go into 6 and 7. Oh, he's tapped him. Round he goes. That's Kelly.
Never hit your
Spun
teammate.
round by his teammate. Oh, never hit your teammate. That's bad to see. So now that's Hollick unlapping himself, isn't it? And
Got Bibby just behind though. Not unlapping
Bibby
himself.
closing
That's for
in.
position. Back to the...
So here we go, the Thrump for 3 now, which is gives Batty a little bit of breathing space.
I don't see
Nearly
any
a
damage
second
on his
delay.
car either, so he's got away with it and has the biggest gap from first place to second I think we've seen all race.
Yeah, good point.
Well, there should be another Skip Barber car in that gap, but unfortunately it went spearing off into the grass.
So now here's Kelly then. He's under attack from William Bibby, who's now is still in 5th place. James Garlick is back in 6th, so he's actually got through Winslade again. Winslade down in 7th now.
Well, I'll be very interested to see if Gavin can actually catch up to the leading 4. I think if I was in his position, my victory would be if I can get within maybe 3-4 seconds of the leaders with the time we have left in the race. I don't think he'll be able to catch up and overtake, but I think if you manage to catch up to a point where maybe in the next 5 or 6 laps you could overtake Rob. I think that'll be victory.
Yeah, but he's under a lot of pressure right now from William Bibby, as we just saw. So can he pull away and break that? We know William Bibby's had a lot of practice of fighting around this track so far this race.
It's been a very busy race for Bibby, hasn't it?
Yeah, 12 laps of intense battling with Winslade and Garlick. See what happens next. So here's our front 3.
Just looking down the timing sheets there, and the gap between Richards and Dixon now. There's a good 30-odd seconds, 35 seconds between them. So there's the pace differential tied to the problems they've had as Line's really caught up on Batty now.
Yeah. Well, Richards came fourth last time out, didn't he? And he's been showing some pretty really good improvements over the last few weeks. Line is lining him up for the lead change, isn't he?
Yeah, Batty keep changing position to defend more, but can't go further inside, and now Line's on the outside, setting the fastest lap as he does it.
41.1, that is very quick. We see Bibby trying to find a way past through Gavin Kelly.
Gavin Kelly's last lap was his fastest lap of the race. We're watching him now, so what's the gap now? 7.5 seconds. So it's not impossible. 4.5 laps to go. We cut to them. You say Batty's up in front and having to defend hard against Line, taking lines that he doesn't want to be taken as he would be if he was in qualifying. So yeah, I think Will might be right that Gavin could catch up by the end of the race, but time will tell.
Yeah. Looks like about...
He's already bitten a second out of that time. He was 8.5 behind. He's now 7.5. So long may that continue, as we're potentially going to see Line on Batty now for chicane.
Here he goes then on the outside. Lock up from Batty. Batty slides. It's contact.
Contact.
Dream
shame.
And more contact as well. Dream for Miller, who just sails on past into the lead.
It was an absolute gift, wasn't it? And Batty,
Yeah, Batty has significant crab there, so correct move to dive into the pits.
yeah, very late into the pit lane. He doesn't get a penalty for going over the grass like that. So Rob Miller now into the lead as we onboard Batty coming into the pit lane.
It's gone from a dream for Stupid Aguri to a nightmare with both their drivers falling back down the positions. But Kelly now in 3rd place because of that. And Bibby smelling a podium too.
I'm just looking, you can see that Line must be suffering as well because he is plummeting away from Miller, unable to stay on the same kind of pace.
Very well spotted.
So as you say, Bibby could be looking at his first podium if he can... he's only six seconds off the lead, is that?
That's right, yeah. So catching up on Line, he's now, falling back about half a second every sector by the looks of it.
There is blood in the water for these drivers now, with a podium on the line.
Well, hopefully Bibby can maybe sneak one in if David is falling back that badly.
Winslade ahead of Garlic again, but still under an enormous amount of pressure from him.
Been a busy old race for both these drivers, hasn't it?
Yeah, busy old race, full stop it seems, for practically the entire field. So he's coming to the chicane once again.
Now Miller's got a 4.2 second lead on line, but more crucially, so Miller should, unless he drops it now, should be the winner of this race. But crucially, Line's only a second and a half ahead of Kelly, and Bibby just behind Kelly, who's dropped back a little bit. But yeah, Line's under severe pressure.
Yeah, there's no question now the Line is definitely nursing a damaged car. Last lap 144. And we can see Stephen Batty's rejoined the race in P8 now after his repair. Doesn't look like he's got enough time to get back towards Gary Richards, who's running 7th. He's at least 17 seconds up the road.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen for Batty. It's unfortunate that, but effectively he is the, I believe, the last of the front runners on the lead lap.
Yeah, no, so it's a shame because he was running really well. Just that lock up and slide in the chicane put paid to him.
Line's in a weird position here with wants to defend because there's only 2 laps left. It's not completely out of the question to defend hard. You can see the speed he's losing as it looks like Kelly's just going to sail on past, but yeah, he's just down on top speed, isn't he?
Yeah.
And the car doesn't appear to be revving as high as it usually is.
Look at that, both of them got through before they even got to the chicane. So William Bibby up into 3rd place, and if he can hold on, he'll be looking at his first podium. Which will be 3 weeks in a row with a first-time podium sitter for the season, which is amazing to see.
I mean, let's not discount maybe Bibby P2. He's not too far back from Kelly. And with the slipstream in these cars, let's ever see.
No, you're right, and I mean Kelly has not managed to drop him in any way at all. In fact, it's all getting quite tasty down there in T1, wasn't it?
Well, 2 laps to go, and I just wonder if Line can hold off Winslade, Garlic and Richards as well, or if he might have been better off just as well, rather than better off, but just as well pitting in, same as Batty with the damage he's got.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, if he falls all the way back to where Batty is, then you'd have to say that, yeah, he might as well pit and push with an undamaged car. Batty's last lap 42.5, Dave's last lap 44.7. Yeah, look how much time he's losing. 2.2 seconds.
They going very wide there through the hairpin.
Yeah, these drivers have had a very intense half an hour of racing. And we've still got 1.5 laps to go.
It's just a great configuration of this track. I mean, when I've raced in the F1 cars of this, going down to that Dunlop corner, the big hairpin, the downhill braking one, as we see Garlic lining up Winslade on the inside again, where Winslade's outbraked him several times and does again. I feel that it's a bit single file through there as you make your way downhill, and it's actually really good to have this much shorter layout.
Yeah. So the replay now of Winslade into T1. So he dived to the inside of Bibby and then just locked it up, and that's how he fell back. Well, that's unfortunate.
Well avoided.
A replay now of Richards, Winslade on the inside as they come out of T7.
Winslade always in the action.
Action magnet.
Action magnet, indeed. Not so dirty this time. He's avoided contact in the duration of this race and the last race. And oof, bit of a swipe over Richards, but avoided well.
Forceful move, but That was one Williams for him, and that was the second.
It's like a bit of the redemption story for Winsley, these 3 replays, isn't it?
Yeah. So 1 lap to go then. And Rob Miller on for his second win out of 4 races. And there's Kelly and Bibby still battling it out for second and third. David Lyne still in 4th place, and Gareth Winslade running in 5th. See if he can catch Lyne.
Yeah, about 3 seconds between them, I was just about to say. And I believe Miller's going to be the championship leader at its current rates. But the championship's still very, very tight up top. With Kelly somehow managing to get second place, even though he, of course, was in that incident with his teammate.
Yeah, good point. It would have been really exciting if we'd seen a 4th winner, perhaps, if Batty had held on and taken the win.
Yeah, this is Batty's worst result because of the incidents he's been in. With the with the races he's participated in, he's been the second place man twice, but no podium this time.
Yeah, good point. So as we come through 6 and 7 on our final tour, and there's, you can just see in the distance, Rob Miller. He comes up to the chicane for the one last time. Still pumping in the 41s. You see Gavin Kelly also in the 41s last lap. William Bibby 41. Wow, Winslade's even in the 41s occasionally.
Great pace from these guys, and if you just tuned in now to watch Miller as he takes the checkered flag, you'd think it's a lonely race for him, 5.5 seconds ahead. And congratulations to Miller, the winner. And it looks like Kelly's just going to hold off Bibby behind as well. It's been anything but a lonely race for Miller, hasn't it?
It's been a barnstorming race from, you'd have to say, the top 8 of the field. Well done to all of those guys. As you say, Rob Miller, Gavin Kelly and William Bibby on our podium this time out. What a great race William Bibby's had. I mean, huge contact there. That was Lyne.
Needs to be tradition, that. Backing into the race winner.
Actually, I think he was hitting Kelly, wasn't he?
Oh, he hit Kelly, did he?
Yeah.
I know. Is there secret beef between Lyne and Kelly?
Well, head over to the limitofadhesion.com website to find out. Here we see Paul Dixon then.
He's been absent the entire race from the coverage, unfortunately, for him, hasn't he?
Got a feel for Paul, actually, because he had a great result. Well, he came P4, P3 in, where was it?
Okayama.
It was Okayama, wasn't it? Yeah, so he has got the skills and the ability to seize good positions if he manages to. But as you said, I think it was a jump start, which unfortunately has propelled him very far down the order, which is a bit of a shame. I do feel for him.
Yeah, me too, because as you say, he's a very talented driver, but he's just had an unfortunate results in 3 of the 4 races so far. But as you say, when he doesn't have an unfortunate result, he gets a good one. So fingers crossed he bounces back in Suzuka. So let's take a look at our final results then. Rob Miller taking his second win of the season, and a fantastic one at that. Gavin Kelly second place, and William Bibby comes home in third. David Lyne 4th, Gareth Winslade in 5th. Then we've got the 2 Williams cars, 6th and 7th. That's Garlick and Richard. Stephen Batty in 8th after his accident. Paul Dixon comes home 9th for points, and Gary Jones picks up a point in 10th. Lawrence Aaron Jenkins comes home in 11th place, and Luke Hollick comes home 12th. As we have a look at the Drivers' Championship now, guaranteed to have changed after that result. So Rob Miller, as you say, takes the lead of the championship with 69 points from Gavin Kelly, 64 in second place. David Lyne is in third place. James Garlick is in 4th place. Stephen Batty has fallen to 5th. Gareth Winslade maintains his position in 6th, with William Bibby up to 7th place. Gary Richards in 8th. Mark Tranter in 9th. Paul Dixon in 10th. Lawrence Aaron Jenkins is in 12th place, and tying him on the points is Gary Jones. 13th place Tony Hankin, and Will Burnett and Luke Hollick 14th and 15th and yet to score. Jim, talk us through the Teams Championship.
Yeah, it's going to be a great result for the Lucky Bibs with that. Rocketing to get some points now, but unsurprisingly, Stupid Aguri right at the front with 104 Little and Large have 77 points in second place, and the Williams team have a terrific double points finish there in third and chasing down Little and Large. Keith Chegwin Memorial Team, spearheaded by David Lyne, have 60 points. Dirty Legends are in fifth with 42. Lucky Bibs, with that great result, have got 21 points and have rocketed ahead of Verge of Grips, who have 18. But like Will alluded to earlier, might be back next week to assist Tranter because neither of those drivers attended this race.
Yeah, good point. Took a look at some driver quotes then. Rob Miller says, what a great track and the most tense four-way battle for the lead of an LOA race. Mega chuffed to keep it clean and take another win this season. Gavin Kelly, best race of the league so far. I agree with you there. That was 20 minutes of constant action. That's what this league is all about. And Stephen Batty, another bleak result, but really enjoyed that one. I probably deserved a drive-through for my move on Gavin anyway. Well, yeah, that was that turn 6-7 where he nerfed him, wasn't it?
Yeah, he holds his hands up. Fair play to Batty, holding his hands up and saying he was at fault there.
Yeah, he had a tough race. So, next time out, we are going to the legendary Suzuka Grand Prix circuit in Japan. It's an amazing track, but it's going to be a long old lap with these cars, Jim.
Yeah, it's a cracking track though, and I'm very excited to see how these Skip Barbers take it. And anyway, yeah, you can find some more of my work if you want to find my satirical series, The F1 Week That Was. That's on YouTube, and I write about Formula 1, and you can find that on my Medium. Just search for Jim on F1 on any of those.
Excellent, thanks Jim. And you can find us at thelimitofadhesion.com. You can find us at the Limit of Adhesion Facebook group, and our Discord tag is up there. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos on YouTube. It's really appreciated. And share, hopefully tell us how much you enjoyed this race.
It'll be difficult to not enjoy this race, I think. I wanted to stand up. A big shout out to Will and Bibby, who has done terrific with that third place. Gavin Kelly was able to defend him the whole time, but yeah, it shows the quality of these drivers. We know how good Kelly's been, second place in the championship last season and second place in the championship at the moment, and Bibby just behind him after a couple of tough races. Just shows us we've got a really, really strong field.
Yeah, William Bibby is turning out to be one of the standout star drivers of the season. I'm really excited to see what he can do next. You know, I'm looking sort of slightly outside of that sort of top 4-5 where you always expect those guys to be. We're seeing, Bibby there and Garlic, as we mentioned before. You know, he's had a slightly tough race this time, but you'd expect to see him a little bit further up. I'm certainly tipping him for a win this season. What do you think, Will?
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some more people from outside the traditional, old guard who are, on the podium last season, or even, people who have dominated the top 5 this season. So I plan to make my return at Suzuka this next round, so I shall be in the race and commentating on myself, which will be very interesting. I'll probably be very harsh.
Excited to see you back.
Yeah, it'd be good stuff.
It's good to be back.
Anyway, Jim, Will, I want to thank you both very much for your time and calling the race with me today.
Always a pleasure.
Excellent, I really enjoy it. It's good to see the calibre of racing that we have.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Thank you once again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time in Suzuka.